Da, 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 crazy train. Da, 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 crazy train. That's enough of that.
Let's get into it.
Hello and welcome to the first Crazy Train of 2014. I'm your host Rob Wade. With me from left to right is Sour Crouch.
Don't you love it when you open a Muller Light and the yoghurt is like perfectly formed on top and your lid is clean, and you don't have to lick it. Your tongue gets a rest.
Yes, I suppose I do. Omer Ibrahim.
Don't you love it when you open a Dairy Dunker and the skin of the cheese is perfectly formed? You don't have to lick the lid and your tongue gets a rest.
Yeah, I guess so. Right, Armour.
This train is made for crazy, and that's just what he'll train. And there he'll crazy.
You are tired. Oh. Spike direction. I'm going to have to raise that in post-production, but...
Crunch. Do you want me to cough or you can only crunch?
And last but not last, Blake Harmer.
I am last.
Oh, yeah.
I need some train like I never needed train before. Wanna make love to you crazy.
He did, because Blake Docker.
At Floppy McRorington.
Sadly unobtainable.
Well, that's enough about
Quickly,
you.
ask me how I am.
How are you? Starts with me to go on. Eh? So, just before we kind of started Spike, you seem to have sprung a leak.
Oh, help! Spike just exploded.
What happened?
He laughed mid-gulp and it just went everywhere.
He just sprung a
There's a
leak.
little spike bomb just went off in the corner.
You alright? What the hell happened there?
We have that picture dish of blood, and you just put hot wire in.
I'm trying to identify who's part of the cast and who's not.
That was unfortunate.
Put a hot needle into a bottle of Dr. Pepper and see what happens.
He rolled a 1 on being sociable.
Critical moment. So, before we kind of go on to...
I can drink.
Disaster. You have a social conduct deficit. I definitely do. Oh my god.
Your manners poor.
I'm sorry, Blake.
That's alright.
No, no, no.
Now, Rob.
That's all right. It's fine.
It's okay, it's all
You got a
good.
spare t-shirt? Tough.
Maybe you should have thought of that before you covered yours in drink. So a few of the cast are a little bit sleep deprived. We had a good fun gaming evening playing Trivial Pursuit for about 6 hours.
I've forgotten how to operate my throat, apparently.
Yeah, that
Lack of sleep.
That too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun.
Egg.
We all got a little bit, ranty at the end, but at the same time everybody was laughing, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Me and Brad were on the team, and that usually ends well. We turned out to not so do so well, but I feel, and I'll bring it up in the room and see if the guys on the other teams agree, that we got some ridiculously bad questions, and not just not just stuff you don't know, because that's obviously if you don't know you can't answer it. Fair enough, but it was things like nobody under the age of 50 could ever hope to know.
Yeah.
That is what sore losers say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You say that. I mean, Blake was the only person in the room who won, so he's
That's true.
best placed.
How do you feel about it?
Well, I was in the team that were people over 50, so I didn't know.
And scene. So, Omer, you had a rant about customer care.
No, it's not a rant. It's the opposite
sorry.
of. It was wonderful. Brad bought me a Audible voucher to get a book for free, and it wouldn't work. Tried it on their website just after Christmas, wouldn't work. I'm thinking, maybe loads of people are giving vouchers at Christmas. The system's crashed.
Yeah, and I do remember actually
Yeah.
around the time you were sort of asking me for
Okay,
help.
why
and
would
I was
this
like,
work? Yeah.
But I have that problem where if I'm trying to give tech support and I can't see what somebody's trying
Yeah.
to do, it's difficult for me to know what they're.
No,
what's going
I just kept putting the code in. It just kept coming up. You can't use this at this time. Please try later.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine. Tried it for like a week. I think it was almost 2 weeks. So I decided to give customer care a ring. Brad said they were really kind of good at doing what they do, so gave them a shout. And I was really friendly, and it just kind of transpired as like, "Hi there, Audible customer support." I was like, "Yes, I've got this gift code, and the website won't accept it. It just keeps saying it's not available at this time." Okay, Where are you putting it in? They asked me if I've got the website. Where are you putting it in? eBay.
That's a much better customer care solution than WebMD. Where are you putting it in? You've got the herb.
It was, they asked me if I had it open. I had it on my tablet at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, okay. And I said, I've got this bit that says use promotional voucher, and it won't let me use it. And, I keep saying she, but it was a fella. There's another conversation for another time.
Because you're an idiot.
He was just like, okay, you've got the tablet up. Well, that bit there is for when you say, I think Tesco have got an offer at the minute, we can get a free month with us, something like that. What you have is a gift voucher. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a thing that says use gift voucher. Oh yes, there is. Yes, well done. If you want, and guiding me through sort of typing it in and that. And has that worked, sir? Yes, it has. Is there anything else I can help you with? Well, while you're teaching me the basics, how do I tie my shoes? Thinking I'll be a funny. No, we're both good humoured, and it was thinking that'll be. Oh, I can't help you with that one, sir. Thank you very much. You make 2 little loops and tie them in a knot. Anything else, sir? just replied with no, thank you.
I thought you were going to reply like she was going to reply back with, well, I wear slip-ons, so I can't actually help you there. Otherwise, I happily would.
I thought it was a he.
Yeah,
well, I keep doing it.
He's trying.
I don't know why I keep doing
that.
He ended the phone call. Thanks, and actually, as I was thinking about it later, that's not how you tie shoes.
Okay.
So I'm going to tie my feet together.
Put in a complaint.
Trip over and sue Audible for their useless shoe advice.
Yeah, good luck with proving that they gave you that advice.
I've just recorded it on a podcast that thousands of people listen to.
Yeah, well, I suppose, but, yeah.
Rounded
up, yeah. To the nearest thousand.
Rounded up. They all wear slippers, they don't care.
Yeah. Audible customer care just walking around in roller skates. It's like,
we've got Crocs.
Haters gonna hate. Walking around in roller skates, yeah.
Yeah.
They do awkwardly and falling over a lot. Yeah.
There's one guy with ice skates on. Mincing around. Welcome to Audible, we read it to you.
So, Brad, I thought I'd give you a bit of an impetus to wake up.
Good luck.
You went to America since last time we casted.
He's doing
He's drinking, it's fine.
He's downing so for the benefit of those audio, he's downing a can of Rockstar Apple Sours, which is a cracking drink, I have to say.
Other energy drinks are available.
Other drinks
They absolutely
are available
are. And I think between us, we've probably covered the spectrum, so they can all fuck up.
The way you're downing this is like a really shit Stone Cold Steve.
No, actually,
Straight edge.
you want to see me drink a beer slowly?
Straight edge Steve Austin.
I'm so glad it records.
And there's still half of it left.
What were you doing? Were you just breathing? Were you trying to inflate the can? It's not a balloon.
He was just tasting it.
What's the question?
You've been to America?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, how was that?
It's not been to America, it's been
Awesome.
to Florida.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, Miami is part of America, I know your map is from 1066. It all says fucking here there be dragons.
There be whales.
I felt a shark.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry to segue, there be whales. Fed a shark.
I fed a shark whales. It took hours.
Right up the M4.
I did loads of stuff while I was there, but feeding the shark I think was one of the moments I'll always remember.
Okay.
Sure, because we went down to Key West, just myself and my girlfriend, for a few days. And it was, I think it was like a couple of hours short of being able to check into our hotel. So just went, there's an aquarium there, that'll fill an hour or so.
We can throw our backpacks to the sharks.
I hope you like Kindle.
Yeah, that'll fill an hour after we get a drink, whatever, you know. But we went in and...
you can get a drink at the aquarium. I hope you like sailing.
Please, sir, if everybody does this, we've got nothing to swim in.
Just give me some true crab. They're amazing as well.
Okay. Did you feed them?
No, I
don't know how crabs
held
feed.
one. It's like an underwater tarantula.
Okay.
They look just like a lump of rock from the top. You lift them up, it's like a giant spider underneath there. Absolutely incredible.
Underwater tarantula, isn't that a movie we watched at your dad's house?
Now, the feeding sharks were because they said, we're feeding sharks in half an hour. I'm not staying around for that.
Yeah.
And they're basking sharks, which they're not huge, but they're probably about 5 or 6 foot long.
Yeah.
They're quite chunky. Loads of them in this giant.
I don't think they'd appreciate that. They're trying their best. People keep feeding them Kindles.
There's a lot That's Wales.
The tour guide's coming around, he's got a headset for a PA and that. Does anyone want to give us a hand feeding these sharks?
Hang on, the sharks have a PA.
No, and you give us a hand when you're feeding a predator animal. It's not the right term. Would anybody like to limb us with these?
Jenkins, take a letter. Okay, Mr. Shark.
Would anyone like to come and feed the sharks? So me and my girlfriend are like, yeah, we'll do that. And so we get out the front, and there's me, my girlfriend, and 3 8-year-old children.
Is that why it will stick with you for your
Fuck it, we don't belong here.
Which one of you was the bait?
No. They're trying to give you a bit of prawn or small fish, and just hold out, and they literally are like rearing at the side of the tail, trying to get up. And
the thing about sharks is they do tend to be massive.
The way they actually eat is as they chomp down, they also suction in as well. So you drop the food, you just get this sound. There's a load of sharks.
Is it like
amazing?
They're like filter feeders, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've got massive mouths.
As they suck the water in full of butter down. It's amazing.
Is it slightly disappointing? I was like, oh, cool, feeding sharks. And he went with a prawn. I was expecting like a hunk of steak. Like, you know the way we feed lions off the side of a truck?
Oh, no, they don't eat red.
Like, what's a king prawn? Oh, well, I and my minions!
Isn't that treason? In the prawn
We sentence you to death. Game of prawns.
Prawn to fail!
No, I've fired guns, got a tattoo, smoked cigars, drank way too much energy drink.
So you've gone full on redneck now?
Pretty much, yeah.
Grew a mullet. Bought a truck.
Enjoyed the works of Garth Brooks.
I had a daughter and slept with her.
Lannister!
In a paddling pool on my front lawn. Whilst chewing a piece of hay on the sofa.
Also, while you're there...
Yeah, when in Rome, be a redneck.
When in Rome, kill a shark or something.
Kill a shark with a king prawn gun or something.
I think he changed it.
King prawn!
No, it's really good.
Changed his name to double barrel name now, bloody way.
Sky firing seafood!
The answer, incidentally, to why don't sharks eat red meat is because they're giving it up. Because it's the dieting thing. It's because too many people have called them chunky.
Eat my Kindle!
They only accept Kindles and
Prawn regicide. That's the theme.
I want a shark steak.
The first theme of 2014 of the Crazy Train is prawn regicide. Excellent news.
I've got my first tattoo done, that's an experience.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got my gaming group done, because that's who I am.
Yeah. Alright.
You are your gaming group, that's a bit sad. Well, there's one player game. Oh, right, there's a name for the group.
Maybe if you played with me occasionally.
You had good games.
Oh, my feelings.
That's where they are. That's what he said when he got the tattoo.
My taste in
Oh, my feelings.
Outside.
Brad only has one feeling, it's feeling. How does this tattoo feel? It feels. Yes.
I've only had one. You've got a few. I don't know if you guys have got tattoos.
No.
I've only got one. I've only had it for about 12 weeks, I think.
That's about right,
8 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
He's an expert now.
No, it's just... The most annoying question you get asked, because it's what everyone asks, is, did it hurt? And just to clear up, yes! What were you expecting us to say?
Do you know my standard answer? I don't know. It just fucks people over all the time. Oh, that's a nice tattoo. Did it hurt? I don't know.
I don't know about hurt.
I had feelings.
There are feelings of pain, but hurt is a strong word.
I don't need you now, as I have feeling.
I don't know.
It was okay until you actually started criticising my board game collection.
Then it hurt.
Yeah, because it's one thing to suggest additions. That's okay. But when you get to the stage where they're actively criticising it, that's the line.
Now there are many annoying tattoo questions. Does it hurt? Is that permanent? Yes. Have you heard of what a tattoo is?
But there's henna ones.
Yeah, I guess, but you don't normally get.
I think that the only thing, the only thing I would say is, I suppose henna ones are more obviously henna ones.
Yeah,
like you can tell
because one's quite black.
Yeah,
is that permanent?
The other one is
Biro.
Did you do that yourself? Well,
yes.
I think what they mean is, did you design it?
Oh, I see.
Unless you're a tattoo artist and it's on your thighs.
Yeah,
you did not.
Yeah, if you got a tattoo artist, one arm's fantastic, the other one's really shit.
My tattooist has one completely untattooed arm, but he's tattooed. He's right-handed, and his right arm is tattooed.
Yeah.
So I guess it would look like he's done it himself.
Yeah, that's right.
I had the when my tattoo
He's just got the word test written 47 times.
I did have a poo tattoo once.
Okay. Winnie the or the turd?
No, the word poo.
Oh, okay.
When my tattooist was doing my dragon on my arm, we were joking about getting really stupid tattoos, and I said, "How about just poo written on the top of your arm?" And he took just like without the pen on and just kind of lightly dripped the ink over my skin to say the word poo. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, that's quite fun." Wiped it off, realised he just about scratched me.
Yeah.
Therefore, made the word poo, and it stuck around for about 2 or 3 weeks. Very light. It was.
Which for you, when it comes to poo, is incredible. Because usually poo and you can get out within the day.
It was like taking all the opposite advice of how, like, looking after it. It was like clean it with a rough flannel every day. Use really hot water on it to get rid of it.
Dip your arm in scalding hot chip fat.
But I've actually got tattoos around it now, and where it did stick around as a very light blue. Not a scar, it was there. It was only if I went, look at this, you go, oh yeah, there's something there.
Yeah.
But I've got clouds and things over it now. The only reason he mucked about is he knew we were going to cover that point anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had a poo tattoo for a few weeks.
So you got a tattoo, you fired a gun?
Yeah, several.
Okay, which guns did you fire?
Fired a Uzi 9mm, Wolf PK, 1942 Thompson. Yeah.
Welcome to America!
It's just like Mad Max out there.
He fired him while sleeping with his daughter in the paddling pool.
You know in Hawaii when they hand you the, I can't remember what it's called, the flower...
The flower things around your neck.
Yeah, the flower sash thing, like...
They
just hand you a 9mm.
Here's your gun and your bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
Here's your Desert Eagle.
Yeah. And it's Will Smith greeting you, obviously.
Yeah.
But not the actor, the comedian. It's weird.
Welcome.
Will Smith from like 20 years ago.
Some machine guns, pistols.
One pistol and 4 machine guns. Yeah, it was a machine gun specialised range.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But that was. My girlfriend seems to take it really seriously. In that she was like doing short round bursts, and because you get.
Did you tell her it was a contest? Because that usually makes her take it seriously.
No, you get to keep your paper cut out of a target, and
I'm racist.
But
I could be. Why not?
Yeah,
you can do custom.
I was about to say, what would a target racist look like, and then everybody would have just jumped to you.
No, go in the KKK hood. It's harder to confirm a headshot, but
finally, the 1942 Thompson was just like
that's the highlight
moment for me.
Okay,
cool.
Cool.
It was one that had been in service and to actually.
When you say my girlfriend was really competitive with it, I've seen the footage. What you mean is she was good at it and I was not. She hit the target and I decided, fuck it, I might as well use up the bullets.
Well, that's right. By the time I got to the Thompson, I was like, because I was going, this is awesome. By the time I got to the 42 Thompson, I was just like, I'm never gonna get to do this again.
You think that, but here on Surprise Surprise, I brought you.
Oh man, that would have been a show I'd watch the fuck out of.
Coming to what I'm going to say, my girlfriend was trying really hard and doing really, really good target shots, and I was very bad at it. But another way of looking at that is shut up.
Just
saying, when I do archery, I usually hit the target. So it's
not
all about
your archery, and no, you don't. Otherwise, we wouldn't have thrown fucking grenades at a bum.
6 arrows, 6 hits, but the fire went out.
Yeah,
thank you.
Because you missed the fire.
The fire was on the arrow.
That's what you thought. Oh no, I was lightning, wasn't I?
Yeah, well, smoke and mirrors.
No, smoke and arrows and petrol.
What women?
That joke doesn't stand up in joke court. That's understandable. We were up till very late.
Can I just say the table was moved?
Yeah, I noticed that like before we started recording. I just waited for a toilet break, and I came back and the angle had changed.
Yes,
okay.
Did you like it?
Okay, fair enough. It didn't have anything to do with the 5 other guys.
No, we were watching the movie, we all freaked out and kicked the table.
Oh, okay.
So when you listen to it back, you probably hear a moment where it just goes, the laptop's buzzing.
It's probably the same point where you spit everything.
I think it had moved before that.
It was us moving the table out of the way of your apple vomit or whatever it was.
It was Dr. Pepper.
For
the purposes of accuracy.
I'm drinking pith, okay.
I don't think we recorded that bit, Blake, so you may want to put that in context.
No, don't you dare explain.
Well, thank you for listening to the Crazy Train.
Blake's drinking piss.
So, Spike.
Yeah.
I have a note from you that from a message you sent me that just says Temple Story. Now, I didn't realise you followed any religion, but apparently you do. I'm learning.
It's like Temple Run, but he's just writing a new story.
It's not my temple, it's my eyebrow, you see.
Yeah. Crazy duality of meaning.
So many people worship at the temple of your eyebrow.
I would worship your eyebrow.
I'll sign up.
I will hail the almighty eyebrow.
Hang on a sec. Actually, before I say that, do I have to fill out a form?
What?
Do I have to fill out a form
to join the temple of the eyebrow?
Yeah. No. Cool.
No,
right,
it's quite open.
Anything that just involves paperwork, I'm out.
You can just join, follow.
It's very easy to be a Templar. Very easy
a Templar knight.
That's why I won't go and see elderly relatives if they're sick, just because, frankly, if I have to fill out a form, I'm not interested.
I don't even know where to start with this horrible story.
What happened to your head?
In a nutshell, I got really pissed, passed out, and cracked my head on a wall. It was spectacular.
So you passed out?
Yeah, which is why I get my words wrong now, you may have noticed.
The pub's a concussion.
Was the pub a couple of weeks? I think it's brain damage now.
Yeah. Just brain damage and he just vomits and got
times and I lose the ability to talk properly.
Yeah.
So the first time I got one was I went to University of High Wycombe, which is in a valley, ironically.
Okay.
But it's a super steep hill. I used to live at the top of. The hill was so steep, my dad came up in an automatic Avensis once, and it started rolling backwards on the hill on an automatic. So it's quite a steep hill, and it was as icy, and I slept over and just cracked the back of my head on the concrete. But I was also ability to talk. I would like start by the time I got halfway through a sentence, I forget how it started.
Yeah, to be fair, I find if I spend too many days in a row sleep deprived, that's how I start getting. Why don't do drugs? Because why bother? I just sleep for a few days.
In the evening, there was a knock at the door, which I answered, and my dad was there.
Yeah.
I said, "What are you doing?" You phoned me and asked me to come and pick you up. And my housemate said, "You told us about 5 minutes ago."
Wow.
Totally gone.
Yeah.
When I was wrestling, I don't know how many concussions I've had. Too many.
You should keep count, really. I mean,
I know, right? But it's just one of them things you get and you're like, I think I'm concussed, and you just carry on. It's one of them things like, if you already have a concussion and you bang your head again, is that two? Or is it just worse? Do you know what I mean? It's that.
Yeah.
But that thing we were talking, I think me and you spoke about it before, where I just forget words in the middle of sentences.
Yeah.
And and it might be something.
We started telling that story, and then you just spaced out.
My brain, I can feel the brain, I can hear it in my head. But I can feel my words, but my tongue just won't come out. And that only started on about sort of my second or third concussion that I knew I had.
Yeah.
That's the trouble. There's a lot of people. It's really easy. My mum had a concussion when she was little. When I think it was something to do with the dog. Her dog was trying to open the door to get the dog treats, a biscuit, and the door smacked her in the head. She was only 6.
Yeah.
The door smacked her in the head, not too hard. She started, seeing stars and that was it. Concussion.
Yeah.
My I'd say half niece, my father was not in, blah blah blah. She fell off a horse.
Indirect family.
She fell off a horse and was fell off a horse.
Wow.
Right.
Fell off a horse.
Put her back in
Got a concussion. That's the least.
She fell off a horse.
Fell off a horse, then we put back in the box.
She fell off a horse, got a concussion, and she was 8, maybe 10, the oldest, and she had 2 weeks of not being able to hold memories. So she couldn't remember anything.
Did you have to get tattoos like Guy Pearce?
No, they thought she was permanently brain damaged. She couldn't then remember anything that had just happened, as well as all the things she'd forgotten. Luckily, 2 weeks later, she said it all just popped and it all came back.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, there was during wrestling there's a guy called Chris Nowinski who suffered a concussion and looked sort of into it because of how damaging it was. And they are
really bad,
really sick. It used to be just you've bruised your brain. No, that's a really bad thing to happen.
The worst thing is if you have one and then you go out and carry on doing what you're doing and get another one. You can really seriously fuck yourself up.
Yeah, which I mean, I've done at least once that I know of, and the amount of people I wouldn't go because you don't. In wrestling, you get them all the time because it is easy to get them. Yeah. Easier than you think. And these people, a lot of guys still have to work. You got a concussion, well, I need to earn money. Yeah. I need to live. So I have to keep going with these concussions. I did that with a broken tailbone. I did 6 more dates on a broken tailbone before I took a gap.
I think you told us. I
think I told it on the mini, what was your worst injury? It was a pizza cast.
Yeah, when we were expecting Dominic.
So I can understand how people do it. I mean, I know guys who've been wrestling for a year. There's one guy in particular who he's been wrestling for a year and he can't raise his arm above kind of parallel to his shoulder. And you think you'd need that in wrestling, but he's just I can't afford to take time off. I haven't got insurance. He's in the States. Yeah. Hasn't got insurance and can't afford to take the time off. So they're more serious than you think, concussions.
Yeah.
I think losing a few words, I'm quite lucky. That's all I've got.
Yeah.
Because it can really fuck you up. Where did that come from?
So anyway, the funny bit of that story.
I was about to say, only on the Crazy Train could a story about Spike go for 30 seconds about Spike and 8 minutes about Omer.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it now.
What words you don't know? Is it bike, train and pedal?
That would suck.
Shut up and Brad.
Is it tree customer?
No, you cannot leave your bike here. You tree.
You may not, it's just the So Spike,
Anyway.
funny part.
It was our work Christmas party. Me and Crouch worked together. They planned it weirdly. It was on the very last day before we all got paid, so most of us had no money there.
Yeah, that's a really weird one.
Yeah. So I had £0, so I was like, right, I need to work out how I can go
So
out.
you had 101.
No, I had £0 and 0 pence.
Oh, okay.
So I had no money.
I had £0, but £10,000.
I did, however, have a few drinks and a bottle of black grouse lying around. So I drank my Jeremiah weed and my cider and whatever I had lying at home as I was walking down to the pub.
Okay.
And then I had a little plastic bottle filled with all the black grouse I had.
You were really
in my
classy
pocket.
with that. That was nice.
I was like, right.
Was it a Fanta bottle? Because they don't look like alcohol at all.
It was Pepsi Max.
Oh, nice.
That works.
Yeah, it did work.
Yeah.
It almost looked like Coke, but
Yeah. Kept dragging a trolley full of tats. I'm on
I didn't think it was straight.
that was the entire. But then I got a free drink when I got there, which I then drank and then decanted the whiskey into there. Which by this point, so I had a few. This all seemed perfectly sensible to me at this point. Because I was like, I'll just have a little bit of that. And I was like, well, how much should I put in the bottle? I was like, this amount that I've got left in here will fit exactly inside this Pepsi Max bottle.
But it's
Therefore,
it's fate.
Yeah, it's meant to happen.
It is want to be.
You know, think about it now.
That's probably the worst decision of your life.
To date.
Because of the things he did afterwards.
My days of being a pisser is most definitely behind me, and I was never this stupid when I was young and stupid. It's incredible.
Well, stupid enough to join lap dance my girlfriend. What? We lap danced Alicia, yeah.
Both of you?
Yeah,
that's fine then.
Oh no, wait, shit!
we had our legs up like this, like.
I remember
Hold on, how long ago was this that you're now having flashbacks?
This is a couple of weeks.
That's fucking amazing.
That's why I drank I didn't drink all of the whiskey that brought me. Probably about half of it inside, like someone's doing DIY.
Yeah, somebody's doing DIY a couple of houses down there. That sounds a bit
Spectacular.
Or they through a wall and just go, would you not?
Or they're shitting like a demon.
Wait. When did we schedule those repairs for the fourth wall? Because it might. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
But yeah, I remember some things. I remember that I was enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You were.
Other people were enjoying you too.
Yeah. Walking around with my smuggled in bottle of whiskey. And my secret Santa present was a pack of cigars.
Yeah.
And I had my
Hamlets.
my pimp outfit on, my fedora.
Other cigars are available.
Just walking around, just like, yep, this is great. Everything was going fine. Apparently, I lap danced someone. He just said, "See, this is." I need Crouch.
So you smuggled your whiskey, you smuggled your budgies.
I don't know if you pole danced with me either.
No,
I
you
was
did that.
definitely
I believe it.
I've got the video of that.
I have no problem believing
You used to
that.
hang out with the trash with it, didn't you?
I might have met him on the way home for the sounds of things.
Quite possibly.
That was when it all went crazy.
What's
When
really
time
weird
came
is
to
that
go
because I was
home.
outing us to a petting zoo.
Anyway, it turns out I showed my balls to a llama next.
I was pole dancing a giraffe and was sat down.
Yes. just on his neck. Yeah.
How did I get up here?
Wait.
If I have to think about it, it's
You
less fun.
flew on the back of a pelican, duh.
I think Crouch needs to tell the part about home time because I don't really.
See, before you say,
I mean, I remember the time, but my brain was so shut down that I couldn't. I couldn't comprehend the events that were happening, even though I was aware of events.
Before you go on to tell that next bit, it does sound eerily reminiscent of my birthday when I would go into. I went to it with a few guys from one of my old jobs, and I went in to visit them just on one weekend. And they started filling in blanks for me on some of the drinks I'd had because I only remembered the first and the end.
I actually remember every single drink I had. Weirdly,
I do now.
Not much else.
Yeah, I have the complete list now, but before that, I was getting pieces filled in like a jigsaw of sadness.
I like it when that happens.
Yeah, it's just a jigsaw of sadness, you know. It started with, I was like, I know I had at least 2 pints at the beginning of the night. and I believe my last drink was so and so. I can't even remember it now. But and then somebody said, "Oh, don't forget the shot of this I got you." I was like, "Oh yeah, that." And they don't forget you actually had 4 pints, not 2. I was like, "All right, okay, fair enough."
Some crack.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucked a llama.
I just showed it my balls. There's a difference. Your Honour.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd remember that.
Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Touched my dinklage.
But by the end of the discussion where I'd realised that they filled in all the blanks, I just thought back on from the start to finish, and I was just like, I'm amazed I'm still alive.
That's my feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't got to the worst bit about why I'm amazed I'm still alive.
Okay, so it's Crouch needs to tell his bit first.
Yeah, and then there's like a little
My
epilogue.
half of the evening
Continue.
was I had a disagreement with someone and stormed off screaming down Rochester High Street.
Oh, yeah. The end of our
Sorry,
Christmas party.
the mental image of Crouch ranting down Rochester High Street is one of the funniest things I've
No, I
thought.
don't even know
I can picture that then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. That's why.
Fucking ambulances!
I want to grunt
I
it.
even kicked a bit.
The Guildhall Museum, if it's free, it can't be very good. It's quite good in here.
It smells of the dockyard in here.
I believe Brad was the first to raise the theory, but we do have a theory that, you know, the fact that you've brought up time travel and some of your antics suggest us to believe you are in fact the Trash Wizards. and you're actually getting double duty on the podcast because you're getting to be a guest and getting talked about. So I'm just saying, maybe.
I do have a claim to that throne now. We'll do it in a bit. I have a claim to the Trash Wizard's throne.
Okay, well, we'll get to that.
I was there too.
Yeah, so tell this next bit.
Yeah, so I'd stormed off and I'd been, I think I was freezing my arse off, just sitting there in Rochester High Street for about an hour.
And I knew he'd stormed off. I was sitting somewhere trying desperately to text him, but it was just like, where you go, come back.
If you apologise,
The llama is
it'll be
here.
okay.
Yeah. I didn't even know what happened. I'm like, what does it matter? We're all friends. Oh my god.
I didn't type that word.
I have to tell you my favourite experience of drunken texting.
I'd give you one that's I think is comparable to drunk texting, maybe not better, but sleepy texting, where you start typing and you think you've got it bang on, and then you lean on it just kind of inadvertently and send the message, and then you read it back the next day. And I've had Brad reply to me to one I've sent where I've just been half asleep and then just inadvertently sent it before I've gone to sleep, and it just came back, did you text that with your face?
Yes.
Yeah. Almost certainly, it seems.
I like the fact that you two fall asleep texting. That's quite cute.
So do we.
The end of
I'm under no illusion that I'm special.
That's it with everyone.
Just say, the end of this party was described as like a small country falling apart. It's like it was all, everyone was getting along really well, and then suddenly it was just like
Suddenly
the streets of Damascus rioting.
Is it like because I know
chaos.
because we used to work together as well, and I remember there used to be a lot of politics going on. Was it as a result of that, or was it just drunken people?
Actually, it was just drunkenness.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was no
There was a little bit.
There was no.
in the end.
I don't think there were really any issues that carried on beyond that night. Everybody was friends again.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Next morning.
There wasn't a hangover then. Nobody died.
No, not quite.
Anyway,
God.
I decided to come back and I square things out, and then I just hear this almighty crash. There's just like this glass just breaking in Rochester High Street, and Rob is just walking at me, tumbling, just like he literally just went. And like just gestured towards me, just walked over, and he's a fucking mess. He's on his tits, just like I don't know how you were standing up at all. I think your hat gave you extra balance. It was like weighted.
It was leaning to the right, but
I managed to hang on to that damn hat. Although, like, I made it home with it and everything.
Your hat was
I don't hold on to hats when I go out for a night, and I don't drink very much. So that's
for
fine.
reference, there's only one member of the Crazy Train cast who leans to the right.
I don't make a big deal about it.
So, continue the story. So, meanwhile, on the streets of Rochester, glass is breaking, people are shattering.
people are shattering, things are happening. You're just a fucking state. You're like, oh Joe, I'm so drunk. Why is everybody shouting? Why can't we all just be friends?
See, I'm not an angry drunk. I want everyone to be friends.
You're the reconciliatory one who has all the solutions to the world's problems.
Except what I do is I just shout out embarrassing truths to everyone.
Like, it was like
You and you like each other. We should just fuck.
Do it now. I'll put it in for you. Do it out. I'll put it. I'll hold
Film it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're like a walking, drinking Perez
He's
Hilton.
just like,
I'm not even here. But so you do all that sort of shit, and then like you to one of your other friends like, I love you. I've known you long. And then he turns to me and he goes, but I love him too.
So I don't really get on these two.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just a thing of like, you must learn to accept that I love you both.
You get so drunk you become Yoda.
And then
There is another.
he says all this and kind of tumbles off. And we're right next
I just imagine him doing cartwheels. Away! Drinky.
Spike in this direction!
accompanied by like an accordion.
There's a tuba player behind. Sorry, sir, I've got to go with him.
That's an underground karaoke thing.
Pretty much standard.
I feel we've all actually soaked up the drunk and we're just letting it out here.
I'm fairly sure that's science.
Yeah.
Is there someone we can check with?
I'll have an answer by the next episode.
So you were outside the Singapore at this point, we all were, and then you tumbled off into the single pane glass of the front window. Like he didn't go through it. I don't know. You're probably just so like bendy and like lank that like the glass bounced back at him. He just bashed into this glass and just went boom, and I thought the whole pane of glass just sort of like in the Matrix. In the Matrix where the helicopter
comes up rubber and it flexes.
Yeah, it was pretty much nearly like that, exactly.
Yeah, so
that's just me. I'm magic.
Just to be clear, we're not airing out any acts of public vandalism. That
I did not just break the glass.
You didn't break anybody's buildings or glass or anything. That's fine. Good. Continue with the story.
Rope a puppy.
No. Well, I might have. When I was at home alone later.
They did well to invest in the plexiglass.
I have this hunch. the Christmas party is soon. I have this hunch that this plexiglass.
It's clean film.
What do you call this type of plexiglass? I call it spike protection.
Ouch.
Crazy puns on his name.
I think that's my part of the story.
Yeah, and then basically they all bundled me into a mate's car. And I was like, it's fine, I can walk home. I'll feel better if I walk home. So it's about an hour's walk to my house. So
I can sober up. I know I want to walk.
I can
walk forever. It'll be an adventure. If I get in a car, that's for sleepy people who no longer want to party. I must quest.
I look forward to the 3 movies about my walking.
Lord of the Rings.
And then 5 minutes later.
We should go back to mine and watch all the Rambo movies in a row. And he's walking along with his backpack and...
About 5 minutes later.
I'm sleeping in a doorway. Adventure!
Suddenly halfway through he walks like, oh, I'm alone.
Why am I alone?
Oh, because I chose to be.
Yeah. Where's Gandalf?
Walking for late night, he's going, well, I'm home now. I hope there's no monsters.
Where's Gandalf? Boxing Idi Amin. Anyway.
Because if there are werewolves, they'll be here.
Somewhere.
Well, I think I've called them out and they haven't turned up, so I think I'm good. I think I'm going.
King of the world!
King of the world!
Circle of life.
What?
Anyway, so you were bundled into a car.
They took me home and I sort of staggered in. Somehow I held onto my hat all through this.
Wow.
So I put my hat back in its proper place, but nothing else. I just exactly. But then I just passed out on the sofa until like 6 a.m.
Snake bites. Why does it always have to be snake bites?
Passed out on the sofa, and then we got budgies in our front room, and they were like,
Should you get an exterminator on it?
in the morning.
Why would budgies?
In the morning,
40, 50 budgies.
As we still just sitting in the corner hissing at him.
As infestations go, don't get me wrong, it's adorable. It can't stay here.
Just get a series of mirrors, it'll be fine.
Oh, hello! It could be.
The battlefish.
It's not an infestation, it's one budgie and a shitload of mirrors.
I moved into the abandoned funhouse. It's old man with
It's Dr. Hand's budgie mirror maze.
See, this Budgie's really tall.
This budget is small head.
Oh, can someone pull the communication cord, please?
Blake's here with Chip and Budgie just going, oh, look at that! I'm so short!
Oh, now look at that!
This makes me look really chunky. I better give up red meat.
This one makes me look like a duck.
Oh, that was a picture of a duck.
So you fell asleep in your Hall of Mirrors front room.
Yeah, with the 50 budgies.
It's actually 2 budgies and a trick of the light.
In the morning, because I left the light on, they started. Normally they're like quiet at night, and they started squawking frantically because I'm like they're asleep there.
Are they trying to bother you about household bills?
Yeah, it's because they're reenacting the end of Enter the Dragon.
To be fair, a lot of budgies try that.
Yeah. There's a whole section on YouTube dedicated to it.
Some of them have the acting.
Probably is.
Put it off though, sadly.
It wasn't there.
Yeah.
And my mum heard the noise and come down. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing there?" You know, I was just like, "It's all right, I'm fine."
You moved out 4 years ago.
Yeah.
How did you get to Manchester?
Walking!
Gandalf!
Yeah, either that or your mate's petrol bill was through the roof.
Why you the board, believe me?
I could just use the Eagles at the beginning. That would make the most sense.
Yeah. No, I got a lift home with an eagle. I did. It was very handy.
Yeah, just saying, Tolkien.
Yeah. But
They kept singing Hotel California, it was really annoying.
yeah.
Another hits by the Eagles.
There's about 4-ish.
Hotel California, Californian Hotel, Hotel California.
Yeah, there's Hotel de California. Which
They play.
And Gang of Hotels.
They play whatever it was, that James Gang song that Joe Walsh did before he joined the Eagles. They play that one as well. What's that? Funk number 49 or something like that.
I'm not going to get into a discussion of the Eagles' greatest hits because I have it. I know for a fact there's more than one.
That's irrelevant.
The whole album.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use facts to cloud judgment, right?
Welcome to another song that we wrote.
Such a different set of chords, such a different set of chords, and a different set of lyrics. It's also a different set of lyrics.
No, it's fucking not.
Meanwhile. Okay, so I probably would have been alright if it hadn't been for that, because I would have just slept felt awful, but alright. But instead, I got up when I was awoken at 6 AM or 5 AM or whatever it was, and I was like, I needed a drink of water, so I got up to have a drink of water, and I was standing there in front of the sink, just drinking this water, and my mum was standing there staring at me, just like, must thinking like,
you can't drink that water.
I've never
That's
seen
my water.
You can't make tea out of that tap.
Like looking at me thinking, oh, you know, how gone is he? Because at this point I still was. I was just like, and I was standing. I was like quite comfortable. I was like, yeah, this is alright. This is nice water. And the next thing I know, I was just lying on the floor, like surrounded by blackness, and like there's shouting, and my dad's there suddenly, and I looked down. I was like, why am I wet? And it was like, you passed out.
You start laughing midway through.
You passed out. I dumped water all over you to bring you round. You've hit your head. I was like, what? And then
did you fall asleep in the pig yard?
No, I fell asleep standing in front of the sink and just went over like a tree. And I would have hit my head on the wall and probably killed myself, but my mum put her hand in between my head and the wall, and she's got like a big bruise like on the back of her hand.
Miyagi?
Yeah, she's like,
no, I was imagining her at the other side of the room, so she's Mr. Fantastic.
like, poor old mum.
Your gender confusion is ridiculous. Mrs. Fantastic.
Well, you didn't think she was Mrs. Miyagi?
Huh?
She's just going invisible. What does it make sense?
She's Madame Stretch Armstrong, if anything.
Madame Stretch Armstrong. There you go. Fine, done. Canon.
Oh, I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
So you were saved by a hand.
I was saved by it, otherwise I probably would have been really hurt, I think. Just cause
I think that's reasonable to surmise, yeah.
Yeah, because I have absolutely no memory. I was standing in front of the sink, and then I was on the floor, sopping wet with blood, and my dad's like there dabbing at my head, and there's like.
And you had work in an hour.
Yeah, and I had work in like 3 hours at that point. Yeah.
Wow.
That
is a hell of a story.
That was I was like, in all my years of being a piss artist when I was young, I never got even close to being that fucking stupid. So I think that's a good cap on my.
I think I've told the story when I did.
You should have phoned in sick and done the crazy train.
Right, you never guess what I realised.
Yeah, you'd have been a no fucking.
Excuse me, I need to throw Dr. Pepper all over your carpet.
Yeah.
That's standard.
You'd have been podcasting in an empty room with no equipment because I was busy at it. Apart from that, good, yeah.
If he would have been drunk, it would have been hilarious.
Oh, totally.
Just sit him in a room and let him talk.
Because I like you, what are you doing in my house?
How did you get in? I passed out.
Budgies!
I was carried by 1,000 budgies.
Gandalf's giant budgie flew
like
me here.
pagan for budgies.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I got these scars.
Wanna know how I got these scars? I fell over.
Yeah.
You're a terrible joker. Want to see a card trick? No.
My,
Is this your card?
Should we kill the Batman? No.
my friend gave me possibly one of the greatest drunken text messages.
Do it. Bring it out.
I went to it was a house party, a bunch of friends at the free house when we were a lot younger. I was driving, so I just went and hang around, but one of my friends got stupidly drunk doing all these different shots and stuff, and basically passed out in the toilet, throwing up basically. But it was really bad because we were trying to help him, we accidentally dropped the toilet lid on his head.
He needs water! He needs water! Where can
I saw the dog do this once.
He's like, are you alright? Bonk!
Sorry, it was to please the women in the room.
So I decided that I would take him home, and I was a bit worried because I thought, oh, please don't be sick in my car, please don't be sick in my car.
Yeah, that's the thing is, if you give a drunken person a lift home, that's what you're constantly on edge of. It's like, oh, that's going to, like, they'll recover from the sickness the next day, but that smell might linger for days and days and days.
And then a couple of my friends came with me just to make sure he was okay while I was driving, obviously.
Yeah.
So I got him back to his house, and there's an amazing thing, because he was still, it seems to be an amazing trick that drunk people can do, which is the moment they see a parent or guardian, they instantly sober up to a degree that they can try and pass it off that they're not that drunk.
Yeah.
And literally, he was staggering, couldn't get out of the car or anything. We rung the doorbell, his mum answered the door, and he was like, "Yep, alright." Just walked in, and then just sort of. He didn't really say anything. I think if he said anything, that would have been it. He would have died. It would have been it would have been mumbled. But he was just like, "Alright, bye," and then sort of staggered into bed. But then I was driving home, and we all got the same text message, and we pulled over, and I just looked at it, and it just said, "Cacum bacum Cunus nef tuumpany." And what pissed me off is that I knew exactly what it meant, because it was "come back you cunts, I need company."
How dare you not think about my needs when you got me home without dying?
Yeah, but I think he's obviously still not.
Are you sure his mind wasn't being taken over by
So I had to turn round, drop someone off, and drive back.
I had the same one with a drunk. It was my ex was out with her friends, and she sent me a text saying,
Teammates.
"So and so is really drunk, young girl about our age. So and so is really drunk. Is there any chance you can come out and take her home?" I was just sitting at home playing Xbox.
And of course for you, any excuse to come out, right?
Yeah, right. So I just sure, not if it's that bad. Of course.
Yeah.
Picked her up, drove her home, and did exactly the same thing. The mum is at the window, so I kind of get her out, and she's in heels and she's all over the place in a little miniskirt. Get to kind of the front door, and I'm kind of just arm round her, holding her up, but like kind of to the back and to the side, and like I can see the door latch opening up, and the girl just turns to me and goes, "Do I look drunk?" And I went, "You don't look drunk, but you clearly are." And just went, "Can you check?" And just flashes me her ass. Just lifts up her miniskirt, shows me her ass. I'm like, "No, you look perfectly sober." But at the time, I was like, "Shit!" Coming to the door, like, "Get your dress on, get your dress." And when I got back in the car, I was like, "How do you check a girl's ass to see if she's drunk?" And she shit herself.
Check see if she's still got pants on.
She says, "Can you check for me?" Flash. I was like, "That's very nice, but no, you don't look drunk."
Did you rape me?
I still don't get what she meant.
No, I'm not sure what she was trying to achieve by what she was hoping to achieve.
Yeah.
So what was your drunken story, Crouch? Because
I was just
you're
going to
about
say,
to jump in.
I've been one of them drunken people that people have done one in their car.
Oh, really?
But this was at the end of my prom for sixth form.
Okay.
And I was bawling my eyes out because I was upset.
Because emo bitch.
Because, yeah. And
I'm gonna go home and write a song. Why won't you fuck me? Everyone will love me after I'm dead. Go find my CD and put out a best of after I'm dead.
I'll be the 2-pack of white guys.
So I was crying, and the person that was driving looked round and went, "Are you alright? Are you going to be sick?" I looked at her and I was like, "I'm crying. I'm not going to be sick." Like, the two do not, like, how can you confuse me crying for me dry heaving?
I really don't like being sick.
I'm leaking a different fluid.
So I stopped being sad, just got extremely angry, and just got out of the car when she
vomited on the window.
Now I'm going to be sick.
I'm going to walk home so they will sing Tories and
Where's my Rambo collection?
I have the
From the Rambo movies to Woolworths.
Onwards to the city of the budgies.
The great mirror.
I'm going to watch all the Blackaders.
But not the white ones.
Crazy.
Legal disclaimer.
Lasted 50 minutes.
I'm trying to think what my best drunk story would be. It's probably a lot.
I have horrible amounts.
I think I told, like I said, I think I've told my good
Apart
ones.
from that one, most of them are about other people.
Yeah.
I was always I learnt to drive before a lot of my friends, so I was always. I know I'm not a big drinker. I don't care about alcohol,
Yeah.
so I was always the guy like propping people up. You know when you see like a magician or like a performer, you know the spinning plates.
Yes.
And they have like 30 on a stage, and they're running around keeping up. That's me in a pub propping my friends up against walls. Being like, no shit, right? She's showing me her ass because she's drunk. She's just vomit. The best thing I ever saw though was two incredibly drunk girls. Two incredibly drunk girls, both with really, really long hair, right? One of them was just kind of sat almost in a squat on a curb, obviously going to vomit. The other one is next to her, almost laying on the floor, and you wouldn't have believed the coordination there, because one of them went, "I'm going to be sick," and within a quarter of a second, the one on the floor just sat bolt upright and grabbed her hair behind her head. At the exact minute the vomit came out, it was like a machine that can. It was like, "I'm going to be sick."
It's an evolutionary thing.
Yeah, it was amazing. I'm still impressed by it.
My favourite drunk stories have always been about my sister, because the main thing that stands out about my sister when she's drunk is her voice goes posher for no apparent reason.
I've got one now.
Yeah.
I talk like my granddad when I'm drunk.
Yeah?
Like, I literally turn into my own granddad. Like,
Okay. Do you mean in tone of voice, or is he like
in
an old
tone of
style
voice,
racist?
I walk with a stick, my hair falls out.
My voice changed while I was in America, actually.
Yeah, well, did you become more English?
But in a sense, my girlfriend, in a weird way, when I'm surrounded, because I did it when I was uni as well, when I'm surrounded by other accents, my own accent gets stronger. And so, we're surrounded by Americans, and my girlfriend's actually getting quite posh. She goes, "Oh, where are you from then?" "Oh, we're from London."
I hate that, right?
Yeah,
I used to do the same thing when I lived in France, right? And it's the thing of, I'm going to say the town that everybody will recognise rather than where I actually live. Because I used to say Canterbury because they knew Canterbury, because most of the time when a teacher can't be asked to do a class, they'll fucking take them there. But it's that thing of like, it kind of just rankles on me that, you know, you can't just say...
It annoyed me at the start. I used to
Even
say...
Kent.
No, I did used to say Kent, and the immediate next question was, "Is that near London?" So I just started saying London.
Yeah.
Because an hour travel to America is nothing.
Yeah. Well, like I say, but like, you know...
England. When they asked us where we were from, "Where are you guys from?" England.
Well, one person asked if we were from New Zealand.
I,
Well, at least you've learned not to ask if we're Australian in case we're New Zealand.
Again, like I've when I was in France, I got not accused, but it was asked if I was every nationality except English.
Yeah.
I was like, German was a common one, Scandinavian was a common one. Sorry, Scandinavian was a common one. French was a weird one, but I don't think I look French at all.
No, at all.
No, you
I can see German and Scandinavian.
Scandinavian, I can sort of get, and German I can sort of get, because I'm a little bit, you know, I've got some of the Aryan, some of the Aryan characteristics. None of the personality traits, just the physical stuff. I'm also ruthlessly efficient, and you know, build good motorways.
Yeah.
I've got a good book about it.
It's a family.
Whenever we used to get the Japanese wrestlers visit when I was active, was they would always, wherever you were in the country, Coventry, or one time we were in Sittingbourne, and they'd be like, "Almost, we near London?" Yeah, we're about 40 minutes away. But it was no matter where you are. Once I was in Glasgow, and they were like, "We near London?" No, we're in the capital, a further away one.
I get that,
I get why they want to know.
But I get why they do it. Yeah, but it's just that
follow
thing,
up. It's amazing, that whole thing of, you know, when you argue that old people aren't racist, it's the way they were brought up. It's wrong, but that's what people say.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know.
When one of the Japanese guys came over, Zach was telling me a story that he was like, "We near London?" He's like, "Oh yeah, about 40 minutes ago." "Many black people in London?" And he's like, Yeah, I mean, it's a mixed race kind of.
Depends on where you go.
Much crime, London. He's like, yeah, some black people do crime, London. But because, like, as he's saying, when he's in Japan now, as he walks around as like a 6'1" white guy, people look at him. They're like, oh, look at that guy, 6'1".
Well, to be fair,
when he was walking around with a black guy, people were just losing their shit. People were like, oh, we have a photograph. Didn't know he was, a wrestler or anything like that. Just wanted a photograph with him because he's a black guy, because they don't see them. So this guy, who'd grown up in Tokyo all his life, had probably only ever seen 2 black men in his entire life, and they've obviously heard, in London, if black people cause crime.
Right.
Because that's the rumour or the racism that rises out of it. And he was genuinely interested. He's like, no, black people, it's not even more crime just because of the colour of your skin.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like, you ask these questions and you get judged right, but he was just interested. Yeah. It was just, is it black people that cause crime? Because that's all I'm ever told. And he was like, no, it's not. But...
So my girlfriend got a really posh voice.
Yeah.
I ended up saying like Danny fucking Dyer.
Overrated and washed up. Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, we were from London. I'm like, yeah, fucking knife you!
Don't be a lemon, you slag!
I was watching the movie with a couple of friends. I can't even remember what it was now. But she went, that guy's Cockney accent is the worst I've ever heard. And I went, that's real. Ray Winston. And she was like, well, he's putting it on. I'm like, watch Beowulf if you think his accent is shit. I'm here to kill your monster.
Stupid little thing happened in America. One of the stupid little things you'll remember forever is, I was walking past where there's a junction, coming off a junction, and a pip carrier or jeep, something large, pulled up.
SUV?
And up next to it pulled a Harley, and a big Sons of Anarchy biker.
Rumble the ground ones.
With this massive guy on it. Huge, absolute hinge guy, massive beard. He looked like, I forget the guy's name, the guy who plays Bear Baracus in the remake of 18.
Rampage Jackson.
Looks like he's got a massive beard.
Wow.
And he just leans over and taps on the passenger window, or driver's side window there, isn't it? Yeah, and he runs it down, and he just leans in and goes, man, you're driving shit. I just thought he was saying, like him with a big beard, and I'm just going, Kimbo Slice. That sounds racist when you say
it. Does. Hey, I'm Kimbo Slice. Donkey Kimbo Slice.
But like going back to the thing about voices and people being like ridiculous, the classic one I told you about was there was a radio interview around the time that I think it was The Dark Knight came out, and they went to an interview with Michael Caine, and the first question they asked was, so where did you get the voice for Alfred? It's like, his entire fucking career.
It's like
Zulu.
Onwards. All his published works to date.
I was born.
Yeah.
I was in Burma.
Did you get the voice from Ray Winston?
I was born, I went through puberty, and since then, that's all been all the fucking said.
I don't know.
What was I expecting him to say? I went to school for years and years.
Why don't we get Morgan Freeman in here and he can ask him the same fucking question? Where did you get the voice for you?
Well,
you see, I play myself in every film.
Is he related to Martin Freeman?
No. In the same way, I have a friend with the surname Cumberbatch, but I'm under no illusions that he's related to the guy who plays Sherlock.
He's a weird looking chap.
How many people do you think?
Everybody's like, no, Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, he's such a hunk. No, he looks like a potato.
My girlfriend thinks he's a.
I don't know
if it's an overall thing as opposed to just the face.
I think it's that voice.
Yeah.
He's got that low.
It's not really his looks, it's his presence.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, he looks like Abe Sapien trying to pass himself off as human.
Yes.
That's pretty good, yeah.
My voice is iron.
See, I don't mind him, but I feel like it's time for him to stop being in absolutely everything.
I can agree.
I have no problem with that, but I agree with you, yeah.
But I think it's always been that way.
You get that, you get lots of actors, and then they don't do anything.
He's always done loads, it's just he did a lot of TV, and now he's moving into film.
Orlando Bloom was the same.
He's got
Pirates movies, Orlando Bloom was absolutely...
Hayden Christensen did a few movies afterwards, and then just he was in Jumper. Was it Awake?
Pullover.
Was he in Awake?
He was the face of some aftershave.
Yeah, that too,
why don't I smell like Hayden Christensen? That smells like burn wounds and dead children.
Well, on that
smells of disappointment.
on that note, I think it's time we wrap up. So for the cast, sauerkraut.
I haven't thought of anything to say.
That's fine.
I'll leave you with. There you go.
Cool. I'm Ibrahim.
There's no skin on my woolly yogurt.
Brad Harmer.
Now you're train shit.
Spy Direction. And Blake Harmer.
For Omer, the superhero that you mentioned earlier, all I can say is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's... I've forgotten what I was going to fucking say. Is it a bird? Captain Recovery Position. That's what
I've been your host, Rob Wade. Thank you for listening to the first Crazy Train of 2014. You can find us on iTunes, share, subscribe and rate. You can find us at emotionally14.com. That's the digits of 14, not the individual letters. That's also at Facebook.com.
Springbok.com.
It's also Facebook.com/emotionally14. Twitter at emotionally14. You can follow the cast members individually. I'm at Rob Wade Vision. Brad's at Lee Enfield. Omer's at the Iron Turk Omer. Sal Crouch is at Grost. Spike Direction's at Big 1985. You can find Spike and Crouch's band, Sal Crouch and the Xenophobes, on Bandcamp and SoundCloud and Facebook.
You should do a cover of the thing.
Most closets as well.
Most closets, okay. I'm surprised that you're not so deep you're finding Christmas presents.
It's like bouncing off of windows.
And you can find Blake and Omer's band, Bend the Crack Corner, on Facebook. Thank you very much for listening. Have you?
Yeah.
Another one.
Just we got it down.
All right. Okay, good. Look forward to that. Peace. So for the Crazy Train, thank you for listening. Winterfell!